Okay, so let's go through some more examples. Example 1 here. So remember, we're looking for a rise over run. Okay, the rise is how our y changes. The run is how our x changes. So you want to pick 2 points on your line. Okay, the suggestion I always make is pick points where you can see the line cross grid marks. I'm not trying to figure out where this point is, but I do know that my line crosses grid marks in each of these spots, and you'll see a pattern here too. Okay, so our graphs actually give us the 2 points, so let's work from these 2 points. So I start at 1 point and I rise. It's like I'm trying to get from this point to this point using only horizontal and vertical movement. Okay, so I'm rising 1, I'm running 2. Now, because I'm going up, it's a positive, and because I'm going to the right, it's a positive. Remember, up and down, up is a positive movement, down is negative. To the left is a negative movement, to the right is a positive movement. Just like a number line or like temperature. Okay, it works the same. So my rise is 1, my run is 2. They're both positive, it's positive 1/2. Example number 2. Okay, our next example, let's use the 2 points we have here. It doesn't matter which one you start with. I could rise and run from this point, or I can rise and run from this point. It doesn't make a difference. I can actually show you both. So let's start at this point here. So to get from this point to this point, I'm going to rise -2 because I'm going down 2 units. And when I run 2, but because I'm going to the right, it's +2. So my rise over run is -2 over +2. If I simplify, 2 over 2 is 1. A negative divided by a positive is negative. So my slope is -1. Now let me change colors here. If I wanted to start at this point, let's see if we get the same answer. So I rise 2, since I'm going up, it's positive. And my run is also 2, but because I'm going to the left, it's -2. So my rise is 2, my run is -2. That still simplifies to -1. So it doesn't matter where you start. You should get the same answer. Okay, number 3. Now I would also suggest, see how I'm writing rise over run on each of these? I would suggest you do the same, because writing that over and over will create a memory, that muscle memory, and you won't forget it. And rise over run is something you're going to see for years. So pick your 2 points. Okay, you may want to pause and try this on your own just to see if you can do it by yourself. I always tend to start with the point that's to the left. I don't know why, maybe just because you read left to right, but so I'll start on the left. I'm going to rise and I'm going to run. I rose 1 unit in the positive direction. I ran 2 in the positive direction. So my rise over run, my slope is 1/2. Number 4, they give us our 2 points. Maybe I want to start at the top point. And now you can draw your rise and run first and then go back and count it if you want, just so you can kind of see, or you can count as you go. It doesn't matter either way. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, -5. And then I went 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so it's +4. So my slope is -5 over 4. One thing to note, do not write as a mixed number. Leave that improper because it's a rise over run. Having a whole number is not going to make any sense with a fraction next to it. You have to simplify if possible, but you do not make it mixed. If it's improper, you leave it improper. And our last one, number 5, is a little bit of a special situation here. And it looks strange, but we're still going to go with our process. So I'm going to start here and end here. Okay. It says run. I don't know what happened to my pen. Okay, so to get from this point to this point, do I rise at all? I don't go up and down at all, right? So my rise is 0. Now my run is 1. So I get 0 over 1. Now something that's important is if you have a 0 in your fraction, you have to be very, very careful because you have two options. You have 0 over a number or a number over 0. And if you remember learning how to divide by zeros, there's some math to it, like one of them is possible and one of them is not. And you may have to do that math to remember, or maybe your elementary teacher taught you something to remember. I always forget, so when I get this situation, I need to divide. So what I would do is I would say, okay, 0 divided by 1. Well, 1 times 0 is 0. So 0 over 1 ends up equaling 0. If I had the other way, like a number divide, so let's say I had 3 over 0. That would be 3 divided by 0. There's nothing on the planet that I can multiply by 0 that will ever get me 3. If it's not possible, so if you see a line that's not possible, you call it undefined. I would make a little note on the side of your paper about this, just because you will see an undefined slope on your paper. Okay. If anything, get your rise over run to this point, and then we can talk more about these special situations later. But that's it.